Hello friends, welcome to the second video of the series on how to understand your paints better in order to make better watercolor paintings. You are watching Art in Purulia and I am Tarit Mahato. In the first part of this series, we discussed various types of charts we can prepare using watercolors and also saw in detail about basic color charts. Today we'll see how to make color mixing chart. If you have made the color wheel chart, you would have realized how we can mix the primary colors red, yellow and blue to make secondary colors orange, green and violet, and also the tertiary colors by mixing the primary and secondary colors. Today it will be a bit extension of the same. We'll use the cool and warm shades of the primary colors and a few earth colors and green. We'll see what colors they make when they are mixed in 50-50 ratio and in 75-25 ratio with each other. Let's see how we can make mixing chart. Color mixing chart can be considered as a combination of the basic color chart and a color wheel. Here two colors are added to each other to see what is the result. If you take say 9 colors, you can make 81 colors, and with the variation in mixing in the ratio with the same colors, you can make several more. It will come handy when you are figuring out if you have the paints to mix up a particular color. If you know the trick of mixing, it not only saves some money but also a lot of hassles. While there are a lot of paints out there you can buy for your convenience, there are just certain colors that I think you can only get by mixing up yourself, like beautiful light sea green or soft lavender. For the mixing chart, you need to make a number of squares arranged in rows and columns to put the paints on. The number of squares in columns as well as rows will be same and will depend on the number of paints you want to work with. Leaving a gap in between the squares is a good idea. You don't need to wait for a square to dry up before you paint on the adjacent one. The size of the squares and the gap is completely up to you. If you make two big squares, you can accommodate only few colors, and if it is too small, it will look too crowded and will be difficult to make. Here I have used 2 centimeters squares with a gap of half a centimeter. You can select the size as you feel comfortable. After making the squares, you need to label the chart. Write the names of all the paints along the horizontal as well as vertical axis at the top and sides of the grid. Label them in the same order for each axis, left to right for the top axis and top to bottom for the side axis. The idea is the color of the vertical axis and the color of the horizontal axis will be mixed and put at the junction. But if you can see, there will be 2 places where they meet, since we have the same paints in both the axes. For example, let's say one's vermilion and lemon yellow, and on the other side we'll have lemon yellow and vermilion, and mixture will be both same. So to avoid repeating the same result, we can have one half of the area with full strength of color and other with watered down color. Another similar chart can be made where we can have in one triangle one color more dominant than other. For example, we can have 3 parts of vermilion and 1 part of lemon yellow once, and in other instance we can have 3 parts of lemon yellow and 1 part of vermilion. This way we can get 4 different shades of same mix, the 50-50 mix, watered down tint, and 2 different dominant shades. Let's start with the first color mixing chart. We can start with the diagonal, the base colors, that is from top left to bottom right. Along the diagonal, the colors will be same as on tube or palette, that is the unmixed paint, where the X and Y axis paint names are same. Then we can take one by one base color and add the other color and paint the mix on the respective square. In the diagonal squares from top left to bottom right, we can divide it by half to put down the thick paint in the upper half and water down in the lower half. That's how we will apply the paints in all the squares. In the other squares, there is a gap in between, so there is no chance of getting mixed. However, in the squares in the center diagonal, they are getting mixed a bit since there is no gap. We'll complete all the squares one by one. Once we finish the center line, we can get on with the other mixes. What I have done is I make puddles of one color and mix the other onto them. For example, I count the number of squares I need to mix with a particular color, prepare those many puddles in advance and mix other colors to them one by one. It makes the job a bit easy. This is how I'll fill all the squares with the mixed paints. Now I'll make the second color mixing chart with different ratios of 3:1 and 1:3. Once you've completed the charts, you can analyze the charts to see what kind of colors you have made by mixing which ingredients, and this will come handy in deciding the ingredients to mix a particular color. Now let's see a simple analysis of this chart. We'll see the mixes we have got using the cool and warm shades of yellow, red and blue. We get 4 different shades of orange, green and violet. What are the characteristics? If you want bright orange, you need to mix warm shade of yellow and warm shade of red. The other oranges we got are not all that bright. Similarly, if you want warm green, you need to use warm yellow with any of the blue will do in fact, though warm blue is preferable. And for cool green, use cool yellow. If you want bright violet, mix cool red with cool blue. Warm red doesn't make bright violet, it looks like brown. So I hope now you have understood as to how you can use this chart. Not only you get to know a lot of things while making the chart, you can use it as a reference for mixing. And I hope you like the process and utility of it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing. In the next video, we'll see how to make glazing chart and the utility of it. Stay healthy, stay safe. See you.